What's up? We're in the final part. In the last part, I was talking about how it is that I've lost weight during my fast, not because I stopped eating, not because I have reduced my food intake, because my food intake is the same. My what has rather changed is self-denial. So I just don't eat between certain hours. However, when I do eat, I eat the exact same amount of food that I did prior to my fast, and yet strangely I have lost weight. So what was that telling me? I thought that maybe I was getting old. I thought I was getting old, and so because I'm getting old, my metabolism is decreasing. Remember the other days, these past days, I've been talking about how it is that if the Lord has seen it fit to make out of you a Sarah that's going to give birth to babies much later on in life, He will keep the internal makeup of your body healthy like that of a childbearing woman. Do you understand? And so your collagen production will be high. Your her hip girth will be similar to that of a childbearing woman. You will have all the things that are needed in order to basically make you, not fertile, but to make your ground fertile for fertility, if you know what I mean. However, if you are out here basically declining like every other person in the world based on your chronological age, and when your stats look exactly like the world's based on your chronological age, you've got a geriatric womb at 35. That's it. You have got collagen decline from the age of 25 to 27. That's it. And so if at all my metabolism has actually slowed down because I'm getting old, I'm almost 40, I at this point should also then gauge that my reproductive system is not as thriving as it was when I was 25 and all that jazz, meaning that my prayers have not been answered. But you see, I don't know how many times I've gotten, this is when now I move on to pretty much this part. I don't know how many times I've gotten nightmares, a dream, right? Dreams where it is that I was shown me being like Lizzo. You know Lizzo, the chubby lady, the overweight lady in the US that works that dances like no man's business a lot. She dances a lot, Lizzo, and yet she never loses weight. Like for somebody who works out that much, she should just be getting thin like no man's business. But Lizzo is not losing weight. There was I tried to cut certain foods out of my diet and all that jazz. And in order for me to lose the weight that I wanted to lose, because I knew that I was going to lose weight quickly, because that's how it's always been. Like, I don't struggle to lose weight. And the moment I go into the gym, I lose weight. Like, yeah, I am naturally slender. I don't struggle with weight loss. But then I thought that maybe I'm just getting old. And so my metabolism is slowing down from what it used to be. Therefore, whatever. And the Lord kept on telling me, fast, Garabo, fast. And I was like, for why? For who? Why in the world would I want to fast? Because my fasts are producing no fruit. I'm tired of waiting, Mina, Njefela, and starving at the same time. So while I maintained my godliness, I was low-key disobedient to the fasting petition by God. Why was God telling me to fast? Because somebody actually cast a spell on me to be like Lizzo. Like work out. Brr, 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 brr. Every day you are just squatting for hours on end and you're not losing weight, even though you're not even consuming as many calories as you used to. Like historically, I've just, guys, wow, like eating 2 meals a day. The first 2 meals of which are made up of nothing but plants. Like muesli and some fruit. And then you have your main big meal for dinner. And then you work out as much as I do. And you're not losing weight. I was like Lizzo. And I was refusing to fast when I finally decided to obey God, who was telling me, Kupa uno fasta. The Lord told me to go fast because I was dealing with a lot of banked dumb demons. Do you understand? I was dealing with a lot of demonic attack, and it's written in God's word that some demons only come out with fasting and prayer. So what under heaven it is that I was being afflicted by was a strong man that would not leave unless I fasted. And as soon as I fasted, even though, literally, when did I get sick and so stopped working out for 2 weeks? It was some time ago, and when I went on the fast, I was already... Did I get sick during my fast or after? Look, I think 1 week of my downtime... No, I think I was already fasting. When did I start fasting? On the 20 October, right? 23rd of October. Yeah, look, yes, 1 week I was eating properly, and then the second week I was fasting, and I was mowed to the ground. So basically, even before I got sick, I was mowed to the ground. Even before I started fasting, I was mowed to the ground by that sickness. So I went sedentary. The first week of me sitting, not working out because of my sickness, I was unfasted, and in the second week I was fasted. Yeah, that's what's good. Yeah, so I made a decision to start fasting during my illness. type establishment thing, and I was sitting around not working out, and then I decided to go back to exercise last week. All week long I did not work out because of bad weather. The week before then was the last time I worked out. Yesterday I did exercise. Today I haven't exercised. It's like it's going on 11 p.m. right now. It's almost half past. Yeah, it's going on 11 p.m. So there's no way that I'm going to be exercising today. So I've taken off essentially 3 weeks from exercise. So in those 3 weeks, in two of those 3 weeks, I've been fasting. 2 of those 3 weeks I've been fasting. So I should not be losing this much weight because of the fact that I've been kind of sedentary. I have not been exercising as frequently as I am. I am, like I said, also eating the same amount of food. It's just that I'm bringing it after 6 p.m. Yeah, so I decided to obey God in doing the fast. And I lost weight the way that my body usually loses weight. In other words, I defeated whatever strong man was messing with my metabolism. I thought that I was old. I thought I was aging. And so therefore that's the reason why I'm not losing weight. Last night when I wore the pants that I wore to exercise, I realized that what the Holy Spirit was telling me was true. Because all along he'd been telling me you're losing weight by the word of knowledge. And I was like, maybe the Lord is telling me of something that's going to come. Because right now I'm sitting around in bed talking into my phone every a couple of hours. But like I'm definitely not exercising. So why would I lose weight? Kidutsi. Why would I lose weight just sitting? Like, especially considering I'm still eating the same amount of food. It was only when I wore those pants that I saw they're loose, and when I saw my whole body in my camera, in other words the video that I had recorded where I was dancing, that's when I saw that, whoa, I've gotten skinny from doing nothing. What is God showing me with that? That my weight loss is happening only because I fasted away a demon. I fasted away a demon that was making me like Lizzo, where it is that I would just like work out and still not lose weight. I don't struggle with weight loss. As soon as I started exercising, I shed a lot of weight. I don't need even a caloric deficit in order to lose weight because I've got such a fast metabolism. It's been like that all my life. So if I work out, I get super thin, no matter what I'm eating, no matter how much sugar I'm putting in my coffee. There was a time when I reduced sugar in my coffee, but then I brought it back. I brought the sugar back because when I'm fasting, I can't not have all that sugar because I need to basically enable myself to overcome the hunger pangs by drinking a coffee that has a lot of sugar in it. Type establishment. So I brought back not only the lots of sugar, but I also brought back 2 cups of coffee instead of 1 in order to deal with the hunger pains if they give me a lot of grief. If they give me a lot of grief. But this fast that I'm currently conquered a demon that has been chilling on my metabolism, making me think like I'm getting old. Like my internal physiology is getting messed up. It conquered it because the very thing that I've always been, when I'm doing nothing and eating too much, I gain weight very slowly. When I am doing nothing and eating just enough, I stay the same size. When I am exercising, no matter how much I eat, I will lose weight inevitably because my metabolism has always been like a sprinter. It is fast. So any exercise shrinks me down to size. At MT and after I stopped taking the pill, that was the one thing that made me gain weight when I was with my ex. After stopping the pill, my hormones were brought back down to what they were again, and I stopped getting water weight and all that jazz. And while I did not exercise, all the fat that I gained all throughout my relationship with my ex-boyfriend, like it all just fled. Like I just got so thin. Like I lost all of the weight because I got off the pill. I lost all of it. So that weight was inspired by an extraneous force that came into my body that I was swallowing every day. And it enabled me to gain a whole bunch of weight. And as soon as I threw away the pill, I lost the weight. So basically, my body, without anything at all, is able to bounce back into shape. It's able to come back down. And I know that that's a thing because my mom is like that. Well, my mom's now big because, age has actually truly caught up with her. But after pregnancy with me and my sister, down again without struggling. But however, with my baby sister, she kind of stayed as girthy as and continued to get girthier and girthier because she was becoming older. She was getting old because she had my little sister when she was already 43. But when she had me, she was 26. When she had my older sister, she was 24. So what metabolism my mom had as a skinny girl, even after pregnancies, bouncing back like nothing happened, even without the gym, that's me. And since I have yet to even pop my first pregnancy, why would I struggle to lose weight? When all along back in the day, all I needed to do to lose weight was just stop the pill. And I got back down to size again. And when I exercise, I especially get skinny. So I'm probably going to get really thin the coming days, even after breaking my fast. Why? Like after getting out of the fast, I'm getting out of the fast on the 23rd of this month of November, due to the fact that I conquered that entity. I conquered whatever demon was keeping, like messing with my metabolism, because I was not trusting my God. Why did I even explain that whole thing to you? To help you understand that when you self-deny, that's when you see the best results. And long-suffering is self-denial. Patience is self-denial. Refusing to date a guy that you have a crush on, you think he's cute, but you know he's not the dude from the Lord. That is self-denial. And when you are in a state of self-denial, that's when miraculously, I don't know, like you don't expect it. Like I currently do not expect this weight loss, and I'm grateful for it, to a point where I can even take for granted taking a day off exercise. Today I did not work out because I'm just losing weight and just sitting around. I'm losing weight just sitting around without taking anything for it. That is the kind of stuff that comes to you when you least expect it, when you are in a state of self-denial, when you are in a state of patient endurance, when you are in a state of holiness, consecration to God, without compromise. When you're in that state, that's when miraculously, whatever it is that you've been waiting on the Lord for suddenly pops up. It suddenly pops up. So to be bespoke is to be consecrated, because you are bespoke to someone. And when you have self-denied yourself, basically from the world around you, the acquisitions that you could gain from the world, in order to wait for exactly what you ask for in prayer, when you least expect it, it'll pop up and you will look in the mirror and notice that, oh, I've lost weight. Oh, my skin is clearing. Having not expected it, because that tends to be how God provides for you. So you need to be found going about your father's business. There is a proverb in the scriptures where the Lord speaks about a slothful servant, that the master leaves, an abusive servant, the master leaves the affairs of his household to this guy. And when it looks like the master is taking too long, tarrying, he then starts beating up all the servants and messing up. The master, however, will come at a time that he least expects it. And given that he will not have done what he was supposed to do, he will be beaten with many blows. He will be thrown into outer darkness where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. God loves people who are waiting anxiously for him. Do you understand? Even when he is tarrying. The Lord is not slow as some count slowness, but he is patient, not willing that anybody should perish, but that all should come to a knowledge of him. So therefore, when things are, taking a minute, you cannot now all of a sudden start beating up God's servants. You cannot suddenly start compromising, settling. You can't. You literally do not have an option at that. You do not have an option at that. You have to keep on being about your father's business, even if it appears your father is tarrying, because it is when you are least expecting somebody to rock up from out of town on a camel or on a horse, exactly you, that you then will be found by a man that was told by the Lord already before he left his town that this is how you're going to identify your bride. This is how you're going to identify Isaac's bride. It's going to be a woman that's going to feed your camels, a woman that's going to give water to drink for your animals, and a woman that's also going to invite you into her father's household and give you food and be hospitable to you. The first one to help is it camels or horses or whatever, drink water. That's the one. That's a supernatural leading. Do you understand? It's a supernatural leading. Rebecca, when she got found, was not expecting to be found. She was not waiting. She was not basically on some, okay, I gotta make sure that I am, so kind and sweet to everybody, that I am gonna feed anybody's animals that rocks up and help them, find hospitality for the night. She was just doing exactly what it is that in her natural character she just generally does. She did not have to try hard. She did not have to bend over backwards. She just had to be herself. So when you are godly and you cultivate holiness, you are just yourself. When you suddenly get happened upon by somebody that was told expressly and specifically in his journey, your town, that you will identify Karabo when she is doing ABC. You will identify your Rebecca. You will identify the woman that is your wife. Because when you find her, she will be doing just what it is that she is. She will be going about her father's business. She is going to be naturally just gliding in whatever she just always does. It is second nature to her. It's like breathing. It's like inhaling and exhaling for her to be so full of servitude. Yeah, that's what's good. And that's how you're going to know it's your wife. She won't be sitting around trying to impress you. She's not going to be flashing hazards on some see me. She's just going to be gliding in her natural godliness, and that's how you know that's your woman. And that is the reason why, women, you cannot abandon your godliness. You cannot stop with your sanctification journey. You can't let yourself get big. You can't allow your breasts to spill over your wedding dress. because then this man is not gonna recognize you as his bride. You're not gonna be able. Basically, if the shoe fits, the shoe gotta fit. And when you are ungodly, the shoe will never fit. A godly man that you're waiting on the Lord for is not gonna look at you when you are not presently godly. So that's why it's so dangerous to backslide. That is why there is just so much to be lost when you backslide. Do you understand? It is important to hold fast to what is good. The heavenward calling. You gotta not grow weary of doing good, but in due season understand that you will reap the peaceful fruit of righteousness if you do not give up. You gotta hold fort. You gotta hold fort, you guys. So my exercise increased or enabled my metabolism, but it has also given me a stream of income that I am trying to break forth in achieving, but YouTube has shadow banned me. But it doesn't matter that they've shadow banned me. I remember that I sought the Lord's face tooth and nail to be able to start whatever business that I will ultimately run with my husband. All the skills that I have got, I'm only ever going to truly be comfortable to run in them in a flourished capacity, a wealthy capacity when I'm with my husband. Because that list that I wrote him at the beginning, asking for a husband, I asked for a man with whom we're going to start a legacy and our purpose is going to be unique. It's going to be intertwined. We're going to work together and we're going to raise children in a family business and they're going to grow strong and proliferated, and that will be our legacy. I wanted a family-like legacy. I wanted a career alongside being a mother, but I knew that I couldn't have both if I was still in corporate South Africa. So God first ripped me out of corporate South Africa and then trained me all of these random skills. And now I'm sitting where I'm sitting trying to make money from a YouTube channel for fitness. And YouTube shadow bans me. Upon shadow banning me, are they not fulfilling God's prophecy? Not prophecy, but are they not fulfilling my prayers as the Lord will lead them to? Because I asked to thrive a business only once my husband is on board. Before then, I was going to be working a job in corporate. And then the two of us would start a business once we're married. But I got kicked out of corporate. And here it is that I am unable, butting heads with everything across these streets that I try to do to make money and so thrive myself individually, because God saw the fact that it would be hard for a man especially to bandwagon a woman's prosperity, but it is easier for a woman to bandwagon the prosperity of a man, for a woman to be the helper suitable of a man. When a woman is already very powerful, it is harder for the man to basically catch up. But when a man is already ahead and a woman rocks up and just becomes the perfect plug-in, then everything starts to suddenly burgeon and it booms, it blossoms. And all of my ideas that I have are going to proliferate essentially what would be a family business out of a myriad of skills that we have in a management consulting capacity, where it is the enablement of people to get what they need in life, that they might focus on Christ. As a Christian, I long very stealthily for people to know the Lord. And so because I long stealthily, understanding how much people hate God, make an effort to find out what can be spoken to, what I can say to them, open their eyes and see the Lord. And so with all of these skills that I have acquired for myself, I have been able here and there to help along certain people. But do not cast your pearls to the pigs, nor give what is sacred to dogs, lest they should turn around and trample you, lest they should turn around and trample them underfoot and then lest they should trample them underfoot and then turn around and tear you to pieces. Like my skills with skincare, I have just put my mom on a regimen right now that is likely going to transform her face. But you see, ungrateful, a situation of that nature can work marvelously in a space where a person really truly has sought the Lord's face for help, and then it came through. They can actually flip over and love the Lord instead of exploiting a person's skills and talents. I'm waiting on the Lord for something. I know what I asked for from God. I put it down on a piece of paper. I tabulated it, not pieces, like proper, like 4 pages or something of paper. I wrote to the Lord, and the Lord said to me, this is a bespoke item. You are asking for a bespoke husband. You are asking for something that I gotta tailor make. I gotta start stitching up this guy. I gotta start building him. I gotta hook up my machine and go and get raw materials. And this man, he is not the man that he will be when he meets you. But similarly, just as you are down on your knees praying to me for him, he is asking for you. And in order for him to be fit and proper to acquire a godly woman as he so desperately desires, what is this? He in and of himself has got to be built to a certain place. So on my list of requirements for what I wanted in a man, another thing that I asked for was for a fit guy. I wanted a guy that loved the gym. I proper asked for a fit guy when in and of myself I was not even hitting the gym. I wanted a man that loved fitness. because I did not want indoda yomukaba ozongi borayo. I wanted a guy that was muscular because I wanted to enjoy looking at my man as he went and as he came. But where was the gym for Crank K? Vavas J. I was out here with that carrot cake every day. I was out here with that big meal on my plate every evening. I was out here like sitting around twirling on an office chair for many hours a day and then going home and sleeping afterwards. I was sedentary. I wanted a fit man, but I was a round woman. I wasn't round, but I was unfit. The Lord, after me being put in squalor, saw it fit to, put me in so much loneliness that I realized I gotta fill the air. I gotta fill the day with something. And among the things I filled the day with, never mind this chat session and me being about my father's business, me doing this ministry, I also over and above it developed fitness. So now I am fit and proper for a man that actually likes fitness. A man that is always in the gym. I clearly have been raised up to deserve him. I've been raised up to deserve what I asked for. That's what I'm asking. I'm getting at. What I loftily jotted down on 4 pages, a whole tiny booklet, list. God was like, ambitious, my daughter, indeed. It is very ambitious. But you're very naive to think that I'm gonna just bring this guy along in a year when you can't even lift a dumbbell. When you want, I spoke about how it is that I wanted a tall man. But I also was giving God prescriptions as to his nationality. I was giving God prescriptions as to his race. I was giving God prescriptions as to his languages that he speaks, and what have you. Even though I was lamenting that South African men are not tall enough and all that jazz, God was like, right now, your list needs a little bit of reshuffling, a little bit of filing down. And what it is that you need in a husband, I know what it is. And largely, this list that you've written, indeed, you will be given what you need. But there are things that are going to fall off because you're going to mature. And secondly, there are things that are going to be added because you're going to mature. And then there are things that I'm going to add because I love you. Due to the fact that as God, I don't only just provide for you your list, 4 pages, girl. I provide for you exceedingly and abundantly above anything you can ever ask to think for. So essentially, the husband that you're asking for, you can't even fathom him. You can't fathom him. Because neither eye has seen nor ear has heard the things which God has prepared, nor mind conceived, the things that God has prepared for those who wait. I am going to give you a shock attack. There's going to be a man provided with pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Christians rarely ever experience pressed down, shaken together, and running over, due to the fact that they give up somewhere along the way. They compromise. They allow themselves to lose out. And other men and women in Christ also don't get what they need because they start being worldly. They compromise. They fornicate. They watch porn. You get my point. They stop being godly. I really don't have to go deeper in explaining what that is. They stop being godly. They are not as effervescent as they were at first, and they're not repenting from how they are falling apart. And the danger in not maintaining your effervescence is in that at the time when somebody that is right and fit and proper and perfect for you glides right by you, they will merely write you off as everybody else. They will not see your set apart state. They will not be able to differentiate you because you are presently extremely carnal. So it's not even about you missing out on that guy because he's too great. It is about that guy not being able to see you because you're too fallen. So you gotta maintain godliness. And when you maintain godliness, God will miraculously fix everything else that you're insecure about. He will clear your skin because he is the God of the small things and big things. He will help you lose weight so you can fit into your waiting gown. He will enable you to be fit so you will not, so your metabolism will not be thrown out the window. He will give you new skills and talents because in order to survive, you had to come up with a craft. And that craft became so beloved by you that it became a new passion that you were able to monetize. The Lord has answered my prayer when I asked him to give me a career, a job, basically, that I love. In that he made out of me a management consultant, just as I have desired. I have got multiple skills across multiple industries and specialities. And I could monetize any of them, including the one of being an actual management consultant for corporates. But I have been frozen in time due to the fact that God also knew that I wanted to start a business with my husband. And where is he? Ain't nobody see the guy? Yeah, exactly. So that's why, Karabo, you're not yet the millionaire you were supposed to be. Because you don't want a man to find you as a millionaire. You want to become a powerful woman and man with him. And that will be enabled. But in the run-up to, I'm going to give you just enough, girl, to have a nice little one-bed apartment. I'm going to give you just enough to be able to buy bread if you want to, instead of having to be forced to bake it. I'm gonna give you just enough to essentially not intimidate a man out of pursuit of you. And then once he's in the picture, that's when the two of y'all are going to grow like wildfire. I mean, that's if the rapture doesn't happen first. But what I'm talking about is what is the likely outcome. My favorite couple in the Bible was Isaac and Rebecca, because Isaac was identified being about her father's business. Not Isaac, sorry, Rebecca. Rebecca was found according to a script, a prescription. She was found according to a specification that was given by the servant of Abraham to identify her by. And so the specification that a man will identify you by, if at all the Lord has seen it fit to make a time now for you to get married, it will be your godliness, I promise you. It'll be what you are currently doing when his servant happens upon you. It'll be your inclination towards serving him. It'll be your inclination towards the feeding the animals. It'll be your inclination towards giving him hospitality when he comes into the town. That will be the thing that identifies you, and you won't even know that by the end of this trip you're going home to your husband. It'll happen at a time you least expect it. That's why you can't ditch, neither abandon godliness. So those who think I'm going to compromise and settle, how can I settle when I've lost weight sitting around in jail, evidencing that I'm conquering demons? How can I settle when my skin is clearing? How can I settle when my hyperpigmentation is fading? How can I settle when my hair is growing so well? How can I settle when I look this beautiful at 39? How can I settle when I'm obviously still so healthy and so young that my metabolism enables me to lose weight sitting down doing nothing? I still got what I had in my 20s. How can I settle when there is nothing of me cracking apart? I properly look better than I ever have in my life. There is evidence that I'm being made, that I am prepared presently for a groom. Like my skin is clearing almost as if though it is the facial treatment that you would get before your wedding day. How in the world can I settle when even though everything else is falling apart around me, this is right? This is making sense. How in the world am I going to settle when so much else is making sense? I'm not about to throw in the towel. I'm not about to kill myself. And I'm definitely not going to let somebody take me gangani. I'm not letting that happen. I'm not compromising. I know what I asked for from the Lord. I asked for a tall guy. I asked for a godly guy, of course, like exceptionally godly. I asked for a man with whom I could start a business. I asked a man with whom I could start a legacy that is going to be proliferated well into the future, where children are going to grow up more disciplined than the regular kids around the town. I asked for a family, a giant one, a big one, also evidencing that there's no way under heaven I could ever be infertile. I asked for a home that is made up of adopted kids and biological. A man that is loving enough to be prepared to raise children that were given birth by other people. I was proper. That's what I asked the Lord for. And so far, nobody that makes any close resemblance to that list has ever come along. I nearly settled with 2 guys. But God slapped both of them out of the way because he saw that I needed to grow in grace. He saw also the second time around that I was in too much pain. And so he just whipped that guy out the way. And now as I wait, I am dealing with people that are priding themselves in my empty YouTube channel. In my shadow banned state, the fact that nobody's listening to me, it doesn't matter because I was never supposed to become prolific, big, huge, gargantuan, a giant before I was doing these things with my husband. I was never supposed to be massive before my man came along. My YouTube channel, even the flagrant disregard of my innocent fitness channel by YouTube is just more answered prayer. And it is me gauging that perspective that is making me calm down when I'm panicking. It's making me calm down when I'm panicking. My YouTube channel, especially our fitness, it really got to me. But you see, when things are falling apart like this, the devil works really hard towards the closeness of your breakthrough, first and foremost. And secondly, towards the closeness of that particular breakthrough, he will also attempt to cause you to give yourself over to something substandard in comparison to what's inevitably going to come if you wait a little longer. Therefore, things are going to get a lot harder, closer to your breakthrough. So when you see an increase in sorrow, that's when you ought rather look up and be grateful, because that evidences your breakthrough is at the door. When there is an intentional increase in persecution around you, when things are so frozen that you are literally an icicle, that is when you are at your closest. That is when the devil is desperate to make you settle, because what you're expecting is literally on the other side of the horizon. It's that near. It's that near. And that's why you gotta hold fast. Plus, if you're struggling to hold fast, I would implore you to go back to your petitions. Go back to your prayers. Go back to the day when you got down on your knees and asked God for a husband. Go back to the day when you jotted it down on a piece of paper, all of his characteristics. And then, ask yourself, you've been waiting, 5 years? You've been waiting, 6 years? 7 years, yonke? 12 years. In my case, it's been 12 years. Waiting 12 years for some substandard thing to rock up around the corner. Allow your patience so far. Allow how long you've waited for so far. Cause you to recognize the travesty of giving up. Allow the amount of time you labored waiting, being about your Father's business on what you ask for in prayer, to discourage you from settling. You cannot wait for a husband for 5 years. You cannot wait for a husband for 3 years. You cannot wait on the Lord for a husband for 10 years, or in my case, 12. Some other people, 15 years, yonke. You can't wait on the Lord for a husband from the time you get born again at the age of 18, and now you're 35. You cannot for the life of you. After almost 2 decades of waiting on the Lord, now, all of a sudden, just take whatever comes your way. Ngoba at 35, you've been praying since you were born again, and you've been celibate since you were 18, and then you're gonna just take some dude and just fell out divorce. That doesn't make sense, guys. You gotta wait. You cannot allow 18 years of patience to just be thrown in a dustbin and flushed. You cannot wait for 12 years of patience to just be thrown in a toilet and flushed. You cannot do that. Allow yourself to remember what you asked for and also what you've been through to get to where you're at. And then also investigate what you've gained in that patience. What skills have you grown in? What girth has increased on you? What God has maintained? What God has uprooted in you? That only evidences what God was trying to do to prepare you for the man that was also being panel beaten for you. He was also being stitched up, sewn, collected for you. God was making him fit and proper for you, bespoke, in the same way that you also asked for a man to be bespoke to you. So all the things that God chiseled away and uprooted is exactly what you needed to be at the time that your husband came along. I could not be a thriving, chunky, beefy career woman at the time of meeting my husband because I literally asked to start a legacy with him. So I lost everything. And now I'm trying to build, scratching walls, proper looking out here like a beastly struggle hero, only because I had to be thoroughly equipped to be a helper suitable, but with very limited enablement by a world that is trying to prevent my bespoke man from coming along. I know what I asked for. I asked to leave my mother and father's house and cleave to my husband and the two become one flesh. I asked for an old school traditional marriage. I asked for it and I'm gonna get it. Do you understand? You gotta wait on the Lord. Ungasabi. Do not allow anything to freak you out. Don't let the 30s are the worst. Do not allow your 30s to melt you away from God. Do not allow the blazing inferno of medical journals telling you that you've got a geriatric womb to remove you from patience in the Lord. I've always loved biology, like I said, and because of the adoration of biology, God made me, able get my bread buttered on both sides, in that I don't have to deal with the disasters of the sorrow of the medical industry, but however, be enabled to somewhat give counsel of those who have got medical issues. And that for me is my Christianity. I am like a physician in a heavenly sense, just like Jesus, a doctor spiritually, and quite a qualified one. I don't have to deal with bloodshed. I don't have to deal with broken bodies and disembodied limbs. I just have to deal with broken people and put them back together again. And not like Humpty Dumpty, no, but like the way that God put Adam together. He made Eve. I have that ability. I am a pathologist. I can diagnose. I know how to get to root causes. And that is enabling me to bring people to Christ. And all the other plethora of skills that Jesus has given me. What it is that help basically overcome their hurdles concerning mistrust of God, so that they might see that God is the God of the big things and of the small. The fact that he could clear my skin before giving me big things evidences what my skin is saying is that if God can clear your skin, God can give you a future. If God can keep you and your metabolism fast, he can give you a future. If God can preserve you, making you look so beautiful at 39, he can give you a future. Do not allow the calamity falling around in the world to cause you to walk away from your promise. So wait. That's what I'm getting at. Women and men, I guess. You know what you jotted down. You know what you asked God for. And yes, fine, 10 years have progressed. But are you dead? Of course not. Is the guy dead? He can't be. Because what God has put together, let no man separate, okay? What is bespoke, you gotta wait for. You walk into a store, you give specific instructions as to what you want, and you have to wait a season to get it. It's not just something that you pick up off the showroom floor. Don't let yourself be something just picked up and bought and just fella, ka half price, no gal. Ka half price or 10 for the price of one. No, you're bespoke. And so you're slightly more expensive, if not a lot more expensive, and you are specifically tailored for a particular guy. God has uprooted certain flaws, and he has also uprooted certain habits and made sure that he also instilled certain other virtues in order to get you to a point in time where you now are saying, I will marry you. I really can't wait to see what God is doing with my story. And whatever happens, I will have waited not in vain. Because if the laborers build in the name of the Lord, they will not build in vain. It is those that are laboring around my life right now that are laboring in vain. and they will pass away before they get what they ask for in a demonic prayer. Okay, I'm signing out in Christ's name, Cran K. I hope you have been edified. Remember, the moral of the story is this: be bespoke and wait for something that is bespoke. Otherwise, you're just like any other item on the showroom floor that any random fool with enough money can rock up and just buy, even though he doesn't deserve to have it. Be bespoke and wait on that which is bespoke. Peace.